Hey, I'm Jay Feza from Rebel.media. So there's a story coming from Mayfield Secondary School in Catalone, just north of Brampton, Ontario, regarding a concerned mother, Rebecca Knotts, and her son's fight against white privilege being taught within grade school classrooms. The mother and her son are openly against the concept of white privilege. They're so against it being taught, especially without opposing arguments, that the son voices disagreement with the teacher as she was teaching white privilege. But right after voicing his disagreements with the teacher said, quote, coming from a white male, obviously dismissing what the boy had to say just because he was a white male, which is totally racist and totally inappropriate for a school teacher to say to a high school student. I got the chance to speak to the son and mother about this. So you were taught white privilege within your own high school. Could you explain a little bit of your experience and what was your reaction to be taught white privilege within your high school, knowing that it's a completely debunked and bogus ideology?
I thought it was pretty unprofessional, especially considering, well, this is more put across as more of a factual thing than an opinion piece. And my teacher tried to say it was more of an opinion piece than anything.
Yeah.
However, the questions don't lie. The questions obviously point towards that it's more of a factual thing.
So this was one of your homework assignments that you had, right?
Yeah, we were told to do this for homework. So it says, what is the effect of denial surrounding the advantages men gain from underprivileged women?
So it's sort of like intersectional feminism being taught in your class, basically.
Exactly.
So it's not just white privilege, it's also like men are oppressive to women and that kind of nonsense.
It's
I heard that you denounced the teacher, or you said or you responded back to the teacher.
Well, yes, actually, I've even denounced it before this article was even brought into the class.
Yeah?
Because I was talking to my friend Connor about it.
Yeah?
And we were talking about how white privilege isn't real and it doesn't exist, and we were saying, even some minorities have certain privileges that white people don't, like employment equity.
Yeah.
So, and then she jumped in and saying, oh, well, coming from a white male yourself.
I've been actually doing some research, and there's other people who've had concerns about this. Cursive writing, they no longer teach that. Children can't do long division.
Yeah.
But they know the term Z and Z, and when does it stop?
Well, that's the first part of their story. The mother and the son disagreed with what's being taught in the school to high school students. The son voiced disagreements. His teacher responded in a racist remark. You think that's the end of the story, but nope, the story gets a little bit more complex, folks. The mother wasn't going to take this issue lying down. She reached out to both the principal and the school board to complain about white privilege being taught within the son's school. The mother asked the principal and school board to show academic papers that were opposing arguments to the concept of white privilege so that the kids can make up their own minds on the issue. She suggested Thomas Sowell, Larry Elder, and heck, she even suggested showing some of my own videos in her son's classroom. Though I'm not an academic, I use academic and government sources in my videos to debunk white privilege as a concept. The principal and the school board declined showing opposing arguments to white privilege to high school students. Instead, they just wanted to tell the students white privilege existed. And it's not just white privilege that's being taught within this school, it's all social justice ideology that's ruining our grade schools. And is this just being taught, this ridiculousness is just being taught in anthropology class, or is it being taught in other types of classes that you have too?
Well, nothing that I'm in,
Yeah.
But actually, I've set this up for next year. A social justice class, I'm sure it would teach this and even more.
There's going to be a social justice class?
There's a social justice class
for
within our
grade
school.
12?
Yeah, and I'm actually going to take that.
After the mother sent the principal and the school board email after email and getting nothing in return, they arranged a meeting with the principal. The meeting was recorded by the mother. You can click on the link below to listen to the full voice recording of this meeting.
White privilege.
Okay.
And the way it was being put across, as in, like, this is a factual thing, is how it felt. You're privileged because you're white, or you have a certain privilege because you are a male.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that is kind of racist to determine, like, how someone is doing financially or economically based on their race or their gender.
Okay.
And also, when I would try and bring it up and say, I think this is racist or something, she would kind of shut me down, saying, coming from a white male himself.
Unsurprisingly, as you can tell by the tone of the principal, nothing came from that meeting.
I did.
You
I
did?
asked them if we could show the other side of it. There were different people that I've asked them to use as rebuttals. And what he expressed was, the children can bring that up. 16-year-olds who have no life experience can bring up the rebuttal to,
Yeah.
you know, this privilege that they don't even know that they have.
Yeah.
So it was a go nowhere conversation.
Yeah. To recap, the son and the mother disagree with white privilege being taught within schools as a concept. They hate the idea because it's demonizing to whites and it's victimization of minorities. The son openly disagreed with his teacher as she was teaching white privilege. The teacher throws a racist remark back at him and says, "Oh, coming from a white male." The mother emails the principal and school board asking for opposing arguments to be presented within the classroom. They decline. They soon have a meeting with the principal, and like before, they decline to do anything about anything. Nothing came from that meeting. That's where we at the Rebel.media come into picture. And by we, I mean you as well. We all come into the picture here. The mother and the son are truly powerless to change the school's social justice curriculum. And for all intents and purposes, I mean, so are we. But the principal of the high school, though, he's the final say in whether or not this type of material can be taught within the schools. So let's take this fight directly to the principal. The principal of Mayfield Secondary School, the school that's teaching white privilege to high school students, is Jim Kardash. He was the man in the voice recording that you previously heard. He was the man in the meeting. He's also the man that didn't punish the teacher who said the racist comments to the student who was simply disagreeing with her bogus material that they were teaching. I've tried to get connected to him personally, but oftentimes it just leads down a dead end. I left messages on the school board's media directory. Those are the people who handle the press, but they haven't called me back. I'm still trying to get a hold of them so they could at least make a statement on behalf of themselves so they could defend themselves. If I hear back from them, I'll let you know. In the meantime, if you think that Jim Kardash should stop all white privilege material from his teachers' lessons plans and the curriculum as a whole, please click on the link below and sign our petition. URL Stop the Indoctrination. By signing our petition, you're giving support to a family who has been through so much bullcrap just because they don't want to be indoctrinated. And if we get enough signatures on the petition, I'll personally go to Mayfield Secondary School in Catalone. I will hand deliver the petition to the principal with the mother and son by my side. So if you're sick and tired of whites being demonized and minorities being victimized within the schooling system, please click on the link below and sign our petition. I'm Jay Feza from the Rebel.media. Hey, if you like that video and you're sick and tired of our schools pushing social justice agenda onto children, please like, subscribe to Rebel.media, and don't forget to click on the link below and sign our petition.